Runners in the paddock. Bell just sounded for the riders to jump aboard for race 3, this 10 furlong handicap, 0 to 60 the grade. There is number 5, Bird to Love for Mark Usher and Charlie Bennett. She hasn't really been firing recently, but she is dropping in the weights a little bit, and if she bounced back to form at a track where she's won before, then she would have a real chance. But it's just a case of what sort of form she is in. She had an excuse last time out in that she was found to be in season after the race. So one or two things haven't quite gone her way. I wouldn't be surprised if she did bounce back. One who doesn't need to bounce back is the grey that follows her around. That is Engrave for Julia Fielden and Dylan Hogan. Successful here last time out, so arriving here in good form. Got the £5 penalty to carry. Might just get the run of the race, the only real front runner in this field. Drop back one to the next one. That is number 6, Headley George, who's going to be the market leader. Very consistent so far this winter. Successful for the first time here over course and distance 3 weeks ago. Up £5 in the handicap on the back of that, but might yet have a little bit more to offer. Tyler Hurd, who's been among the winners recently, gets a tune out of him, and he's on board once again. Diagliev is behind that one, number 4 on the card for the Simon Pearce team. Quite an talented enough horse at this level of competition when he wants to put it together, I suppose, and it's just a case of him not always exerting himself fully, but he does have the ability to win in this kind of company. He is taking a bit of a dip in grade from recent assignments. Number 3, Critique, is yet to win. Not convinced by his attitude just yet, but he has placed on his last couple of starts. Not seen since October. A chance that he needs the run, but the yard looking for a quick double. Number 2, the Mount of Luke Morris, Fair Power, as Luke said in that interview after his second winner of the night, on a bit of a retrieval mission really, this horse. Not in much form at the moment, but Luke looking for a third winner of the night. Could eke that return to form from him. He is a dual winner at the track previously.
At Chelmsford, where horses are making their way down for the tote.co.uk live streaming every race handicap over 10 furlongs, and Headley George, winner of a classified last time, your 13 to 8 favourite. 5 to 2 about last time out winner here. Engrave, Critique 4 to 1, Diaghilev 15 to 2, and attracting a bit of support 12 to 1 Fair Power, and Bird to Love 20 to 1. Number 7, Lady of York, is a non-runner, leaving a field of 6. Let's head back to the track and join Chris Dixon ahead of this 10 furlong handicap.
Thanks, Anthony. Yeah, Headley George at the top of the market. He's been very consistent, hasn't he? in recent times, and he managed to get his head in front here on his most recent start. It was 3 weeks ago. Before that, he'd bumped into the rapidly improving Cartum, so he was probably a little bit unfortunate to meet that horse on what was the first of his sequence of victories. Near impossible task really as it panned out, but Headley George was sent off a short price favourite that day. He managed to, with him out the way, get his head in front last time out, and he might just be able to build on that. He's still not had too much racing. We know that he's effective at the track and he's holding his form well. Simon Doubt, he had a winner just the other day, and Tyler Hurd, he's had winners for the last couple of days, including for the stable, so a bit of confidence from the rider as well. You would expect a good run from Headley George. The price fully factoring in his chances, I suspect. He's 7-4 now. Engrave, the mare who we know likes it around here, all three of her career victories have been here, including last time out when she got the better of Eagles Glen. She's got the £5 penalty on her back this time around, so that's going to make life that little bit tougher, but the pair of them were clear of the remainder that day, and you've got to think that Engrave, given her consistency and ability to handle this track, isn't going to be too far away again. She might just get the run of the race out in front as well, because there is a little bit of a lack of pace in the field. They're the front two in the market. Of the others, Diagliev just needs to bounce back to form, really. A little bit of a tricky customer. Don't think he's entirely straightforward, but he's attracting a little bit of market support. Bird to Love edging back down to her last winning mark. She hasn't really been firing of late, but there's been one or two excuses along the way. She was well beaten off last time out, but apparently appeared to be in season afterwards, it was reported, so maybe forgive her that particular bomb-out effort. Fair Power needs to bounce back as well. That's the jockey change. Luke Morris now aboard. And then you've got Critique for Ed Walker, who's on the back of a little bit of a break. George Baker is back in the studio. George, you've already masterminded the route to success with Paxos tonight. What about the claims of Critique?
Yeah, it's good to get him back on track. He's had a bit of time off, as you say, bit of a break, and I suppose that run at the end of September behind Stone Mason would put him in this with every chance. He'd want to be a bit sharper into stride, as we've seen the track riding pretty deep recently, and I'm sure if he can get into stride and Eddie's able to get him to a smooth rhythm, I'm sure he'll run a competitive race in what looks an open 46-60 handicap.
Along with Headley George, the market leader for this, here's Derek Thompson to call them home.
Handicap, mile and a quarter, 6 runners, they're off. Here we go, the start for this race at the entrance to the home straight. Good start by Fair Power on the far side, now ridden by Luke Morris. He's just steadying him up a little bit. And here comes the green and white of the favourite Headley George to lead them past the stands with a circuit to run. On the outside is the grey Engrave. On the inside in the blue and white is Bird to Love, the yellow colours of Diagliev. Behind this, the orange cap of Fair Power. And the back mark earlier on is Critique. So they go away from us with 7 furlongs left to run in the 5:50 here at Chelmsford City Racecourse. This is the Tote live streaming every UK race handicap. And up front, the grey Engrave and Dylan Hogan from the Julie Field and Stable. Up on the outside in the yellow and blue hoops, Diagliev, Jack Mitchell riding for Simon Pearce. On the inside, the favourite, Headley George, Tyler Hurd on board, the Epsom trainer Simon Dow. Then behind this, the orange cap of Fair Power, Luke Morris looking for a hat-trick tonight for the Newmarket trainer John Butler. On the inside is Bird to Love, Charlie Bennett on board for Mark Usher. And the back marker in the purple colours, Critique, Ed Greatrex for Ed Walker. Down the far side they go. 5 furlongs left to run in the Tote live streaming every UK race handicap. And still up front, the grey, the top weight, Engrave. Up on the outside, Diagliev enjoying himself tonight. Third on the inside, the favourite Headley George. Orange cap fourth is Fair Power. On the inside, Bird to Love. White cap, still the back marker as they swing out of the back straight is Critique. So coming now with 3 furlongs left to run, and still Engrave enjoying himself out there in the lead. Poised right behind on the inside in the orange sleeves is Headley George. Under pressure, Diagliev. Let's see what happens now. And up front, Dylan Hogan says go on Engrave. Here comes Headley George and Tyler Hurd with a good-looking run in second. Staying on from a long way back in the white cap, we've got Bird to Love. A furlong and a half left to run against the rails. Engrave digs deep, still has the lead by about a length. Headley George comes under pressure. White cap of Bird to Love is finishing well, and the orange cap Fair Power on the wide outside. Half a furlong left to run. They haven't got to Engrave. Engrave's digging deep and holding them at the moment. Coming towards the line. Engrave is going to win it. Engrave wins it. In second place, that's Headley George. Third on the outside, Bird to Love.
Engrave has defied top weight and the £5 penalty to go back-to-back here at Chelmsford. A fourth win at the track, a fourth win of her career, and a career best performance in the process as well, under Dylan Hogan, who's been aboard for all of those previous victories. Julia Field, the winning trainer, and Engrave has made pretty much every yard of the running. Headley George, the favourite, who's finished in second spot, bounced out fairly handy, took a little bit of settling. Tyler Hurd was looking for a lead, eventually got one from Engrave, but Engrave was able to dictate the terms of the race thereafter, kicked on the crown of the turn, and she was very willing, as she had been here last time out, and she has kept on finding. Bird to Love, getting right back to form, has finished off nicely enough from further back in the field. Fourth horse home was Fair Power, stepped back in the right direction without ever really threatening. Critique, who wasn't the best away, came from a long way back, didn't look entirely straightforward, but has at least got a run under his belt now and might just be able to improve on it. Just not convinced by him generally. And Degliev, he took a little bit of time to really get into a rhythm in the early part of the race, and then as soon as he was in there, he was quite keen